Good morning, everyone. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my videos. We're going to be talking about education. Why it's important inside or outside of Jehovah Witnesses religion. Now, as a member of Jehovah Witness, when I was there, I thought I was getting the best education of knowing history and Bible teaching, especially the history part, because you can learn history different ways. You can learn it from school, you can learn it online, you can go to the actual source to find information on a different subject. But Watchtower teach the elders that the greatest gift is learning from them, learning their interpretation of their facts, their evidence on history, and knowledge of the Bible. Why is it important to learn different sides of a history? Because you don't know if the facts that comes from Watchtower or the facts that comes from the source itself, if it's true or not. So sometimes you have to dig deeper to see if you can find more evidence to prove who's right and who's wrong. That's part of education. Just like knowing 2 plus 2 is 4. If you're someplace else, it tells you one way, and another way it tells you the truth. Or in this case, you could use your common sense to determine which one makes sense. I just want to make this video to get people to understand. When someone tells you that the best education is in religion, I'm telling you right now, you better dig deeper. And I don't mean your pockets. Dig deeper to make sure the facts and the evidence they announcing from that stage platform from that brother is accurate. Because if it's not accurate, then the education that you got from them right then and there can be inaccurate, or in this case could be a lie. So I'm going to play a part of a talk and we'll take it from there.
Welcomes you to our public talk and Watchtower study. Our public talk this morning will be delivered by Brother Eric Payne from the Port Richey congregation, and the subject of his talk is Use Education to Praise Jehovah. For the next 30 minutes, let's give Brother Payne our attention.
First of all, when When you think about the word education, the first thing comes to my mind is being in school, trying not to fall asleep. Because in school, there were times when school wasn't always the best for me. I used to enjoy being out of school more than in school. But education is as we get older, we come to appreciate the value of education. Education has been said to be one of the most important things in the life of a human being. I say that because when you think of an expression that Publius Sirius, he was a 1st century BCE writer, and this is what he had to say about education. He said, "It is only the ignorant who despise education." And when you think about it, some people choose not to hear the truth or listen. Sometimes you ever seen it, you try to talk to a young person or a young child, and they go do la 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 la. Well,
And what you just heard was the truth. How Jehovah Witnesses has put their mind in la 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 because they don't want to hear the truth about their education program they learned from the Watchtower to be a minister of the false god and Jehovah, not knowing that they are a true minister of Satan the devil. Because when your religion is teaching you lies about the Bible and history, then you flunk the course or the school because you learned nothing but lies. So how did my education and other people's education in Watchtower's teaching? I'm going to tell you, we got a big fat minus F. Everything we learned was a barefaced lie. Now, I did have a Jehovah Witness say, "Oh, you're saying we don't believe in the Creator? We don't believe in Christ?" No. The other things around that information was a lie. One, the Creator, you say his name is Jehovah, God. That's a lie. You claiming that Michael, the archangel, is Jesus. That's a lie. Because the Bible says, which to one of the angels did I say to sit at my right hand? If Michael is an archangel, wouldn't that mean he cannot be the true Son of God? Because it says, Michael the archangel. So, did God lie in the Bible, or did Watchtower is being ignorant and Jehovah's Witnesses is believing what Watchtower say but not listening what the Bible's saying? Let's continue.
we have people in the ministry that sometimes do the same expression, la 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 la. They don't want to hear it, and that's their choice. But that's what comes to my mind is the expression about ignorant. Only those who are ignorant despise education, because when we're going from door to door, we have the most, we might say, the most prestigious, most elevated education that we're giving to people, and that's knowledge about Jehovah God. But today, we're going to
going door to door, people's going la 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 because they don't want to hear the garbage and the trash from Jehovah's Witnesses, because it is inaccurate It's a lie. It's a blasphemy. People, witnesses are waking up. They're watching our videos. They're seeing the truth for themselves. Are we the ones going la 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 because we decided one day we didn't want to become a Jehovah Witness and live a worldly life and enjoy living in Satan's world? I hate to bust your bubble, but you can't get out of Satan's world because he controls the whole entire earth. It's your choice to do what's right or wrong. And Jehovah's Witnesses, your religion has been in Satan's world and grasp since Charles T. Russell opened his mouth claiming to be a minister. And that's where your beginning started. Let's continue.
We're going to get back to that knowledge, that education about Jehovah. But for just briefly, in the first few moments of this talk, we're going to be talking about a secular education. Education, we're going to define what it is, where and when it should begin. We're also going to talk about the benefit of it and how it helps us to deal with not only our problems today, but help us to use how we can use education like a tool in order to be a better servant of Jehovah. So first of all, let's get started as far as the defining what it is. And I've always appreciated there's a couple of scriptures that help us to do just that. But education is defined. The first scripture is at Matthew the 7th chapter. While you turn there, I'll give you the definition of education. According to the World Book Encyclopedia, education is defined as a process by which people acquire knowledge, skills, habits, values, and attitude.
And I'm going to say I totally agree with that. But I would say I can disagree. If you're trying to find true knowledge in cults, false religion, and I am talking about Jehovah's Witnesses too. So, are you trying to say you're trying to seek knowledge by letting Jehovah's Witness come into your house after they knock on your door? You're not going to find it. You're not going to find that knowledge, what you're seeking to give you everlasting life. I used to be one of those guys that knock on people's doors. And you know something? I'm glad no one listened to me. I'm glad I never brought no one into this false religion. Let's continue.
Now think about it for just a moment. That's what the World Book Encyclopedia has to say about education. But now I want to share with you what our, when I say education, or what the Insight book has to say about education. It puts education in 4 stages. 1 is the imparting or acquisition of knowledge and skill. Education is accomplished through 1, explanation and repetition. 2, is also acquired or accomplished through discipline, training, and administered in love. 3, it is a personal observation. And 4 is reproof and rebuke. That's what education consists of.
And that's from their literature to get you to obey these elders, these circuit overseers, these governing body. So in other words, what they call education is what I call a slave to Watchtower false teaching. That's what I call it.
According to the Insight book. And when you think, if you have an opportunity, it's on page 682 in the first volume of your Insight. If you get an opportunity, go back. It's pretty interesting to help you to really appreciate that education is something that Jehovah really value, and he put on the minds of the Israelites that they need to learn, have a basic education. So if he felt it was important for them, why wouldn't it be important for us?
See, there they go again, using Israelites, the Jews, to make their religion righteous. They knew the true God. They knew his real name. Jehovah's Witnesses, no one really knows God's true name. And the Jews don't even know God's true name. But for some reason, you do. History already proven on the internet that the Catholics was the one who invented the name Jehovah. So you're teaching people lies, and you're saying that this is the best education you can get besides going to school? No, it is not. At least in school, you're learning the real facts of life, what you need to survive. But to survive, to learn the real truth for God, you probably could get the same information from a bubblegum machine. Because every time you put money in, you just get a little bit of pieces of gum to chew. And that's exactly what your religion literature is. Nothing but to chew, and you can't swallow it because it's so bitter that every time you swallow it, it gags you. Doesn't matter if it's candy or bubble gum. It has a foul odor. And the only thing you want to do is just spit it out. And that's exactly what your education is. Something that if you put in your body, it will make you sick like a dog. I know. When I learned the real truth about this organization, it made me sick like a dog. Because I could not believe how corrupt this religion is. Let's continue.
For some of us, school is not always the greatest because maybe we don't excel well. We don't do well with figures. Or maybe we don't do well with prepositions and verbs and nouns. And the predicate and all of them, Even talking about it makes me kind of, But it's just the idea. Some of us, it doesn't jive with us. It doesn't, make us feel comfortable. But again, it helps us. It helps us to deal with our employers. Helps us to deal with our wives, our children, our family members, especially those in-laws, or even our, you might say those special relatives that always kind of rub us the wrong way. But it does. It helps us in many facets of life on how to deal.
I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to disagree with him. Education is a wonderful tool, learning real knowledge. But what he just said is backwards. When you become a Jehovah's Witness, the education that you get from them, it will give you problems in your marriage. It will cause problems with your in-laws. It will cause problems on your job. and even the people you work around. Because Jehovah's Witnesses, the education you get from Watchtower is inaccurate. Because when I studied about 607, I found out Nebuchadnezzar's father was still alive. That's one. Two, the Jews' first temple was not destroyed. Because three, his father died in 605. So that's 2 years later, counting down, and you got 18 years of Nebuchadnezzar was on the throne. So 607, 605, do the math, Jehovah's Witnesses. You cannot get 18 years. And if you do, then you better go back to school, because you flunk real school education. But you get an A+ in Watchtower's education, 607 minus 605, 2 years, and you get 18 years of destruction of the first temple. You get an A+ in Watchtower's education system. Man, you should be proud. You could hang that diploma right on the wall. Ignorance. Idiots. You can't get 18 years within 2 years. And when you go to the Jewish virtual library of the Jews, the real source of their homeland, their history, and you can find, if you click on the temples, you'll find out the truth for yourself. It tells you the truth about 587. It tells you the truth about 70 AD. Why would they lie about the first temple and tell the truth about the second temple? Now, these are people that supposed to know their own history. So you're trying to tell the world that the Jews are liars because they're going around telling people the first temple is being destroyed in 587. And they're supposed to know it was 607 by your teaching. So people, when you want to get real education from Watchtower, you're going to end up with a guy sitting in the corner with a big, those big hats on their head, showing the dumb. That's what Watchtower's putting on top of every Jehovah's Witness's head. A person that's going around lying to every single one when they come to your door. People, if you want education from Watchtower, you might as well go to the Mormons' religion, or the Latter-day Saints, the Catholics, the Baptists. At least there you might get partial education. But if you want to flunk school and destroy your families, your friends, join Jehovah's Witnesses. Even the Mormons shun their family. At least that's what I found on. Some people made their own channel, and there was ex-Mormons. Look, people, if you want education, you got the internet right there in front of you. You got to sit down and take the information, write it on paper, what you hear in the Kingdom Halls or their teachings, and find the evidence to back it up, to see if you be taught the truth, to see if Jerusalem fell in 607. Otherwise, you're the person that's walking around with that invisible hat on your head. You're dumb. Because you refuse to listen to us. And you're the one going, la 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 la. I can't hear you. La 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 la. That is Jehovah's Witnesses. And you're acting like a little child. Not wanting to hear the real truth. The reason why we left this religion. Why we're making these videos. Why we're trying to wake you up. Why we're showing you love by making these videos. Because if it was for someone to wake me up, I would never know the real truth. I would still be going to the Kingdom Hall. And you know something? Education is what woke me up. What is your excuse, Jehovah's Witnesses? You want to be educated by the devil with the governing body as your teacher? That's the reason you're still going to the Kingdom Hall, isn't it? Well, enjoy your education. Thank you, and have a nice day.